Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the Frontline Changes report for the past 24 hours for the day of 1299 for the 14th of September. We're going to jump straight to the Sumy front. So this is Sumy. Over at the Kindrativka region, the Ukrainian mapping and open source intelligence, Deep State UA, has claimed that the Ukrainian forces have captured this part of the northeast of Kindrativka. So they claim that this area here is captured by the Ukrainian forces. They did map a lot of gray zones, and that includes a large part of the areas, but their gray zones cannot be trusted because they have no consistent standard whether the gray zone is more Russian or more Ukrainian. So I only take full captures, full captures as indication of what to map on our mapping. So this is the claim, and which I don't think is too far-fetched. I would say the advance here is probably around 1.2 1.3 kilometers. So that's the counter-attack continuing over in this sector. Previously they have already captured Kindrativka, so it's not like impossibility. So after this Sumy front update, the next frontline change is over in the Kupyansk front. So over at the Kupyansk front, Ukrainian mapping also have in their mapping claimed that, so this is Kupyansk, by the way. So the northern sector here, we have previous geolocation of Russian forces in the north. Ukrainians have asserted that they have control over this area here. So this area here in their mapping is firm Ukrainian control. This is based on Ukrainian mapping. And so because we have no news for some time, so I have decided to put the Ukrainian mapping in. So this is just a Ukrainian claim. However, a geolocation of Russian forces over this have appeared just hours ago, which means that the Russian forces confirmed to have advanced further in this sector here. So the Russian mapping will expand. The Ukrainian mapping will lose this part, and then the other part will still put as claim, because the situation in the Kupyansk front is too vague. So we do not it's a bit like the Pokrovsk breakout zone. It's very vague, so we shall wait for more intel. So but the Russian forces is geolocated here, so signifying some advance in this sector here. I map it very conservatively because these are all high-rise zones. I'm not so sure the Russians are actually capturing it at all so easily. So it could be a flanking operation by the Russian forces going around it. So it's not impossible. So that advance here is around 200 meters by the Russian forces from the previous understood front line. So that's the frontline changes over in the Kupyansk. The next frontline change, we go over to the Lyman front or the Osku front. So this is Osku, and over at the Osku Lyman front, we have frontline change over at Sumy and Sandriholove. So these are mapped by the Russian claims. These are both Russian claims. So these are not confirmed captures. Russian forces allegedly, according to the Russian sources, have captured Sumy and also expanded further westward, as well as capturing the eastern outskirts of Sandriholove, closing that salient over in the northeast of Darilove. So these are the advances. At Sumy is around 2.5 kilometers, and over in Sandriholove is probably also around 2.5 kilometers on average. So these are the advances as according to the Russian mapping. So not corroborated yet. So that's the frontline changes over in the Osku Lyman front. The next frontline change after this is over in Kozatske, over in the Pokrovsk front. So this is Pokrovsk, Minograd, and we already know that the Russians have been attacking on the eastern part of Minograd. And we have a new geolocation which confirms that the Russian forces continue their offensive in the east and moving southeast of Minograd. Russian forces have geolocated in this position, confirming the Russian advance in the east of Balahan, moving towards Kozatske over in this eastern part of Minograd. So Russian forces continue to advance. They're heading towards Kozatske. Maybe they're just trying to close down, this sector here, this salient. And the advance from north to south is probably around 1 kilometer. And potentially, from east to west is around 2.8 kilometers. So this is a vague mapping, but I think this is good enough for now until there's more clarity. But yeah, so this definitely continues to invalidate any possible Ukrainian presence at Novoekonomichne or Mykolaiivka, or Mariupolka. But the Ukrainian defense ministry continue to report fighting in these sectors. So let's see, how this goes. So this after Kozatske, the next is over in the Komar front. So over the Komar front, over at the Iskra, at Andriivka, Kletsove, two geolocations, one here and one here. These two geolocations of Russian forces expanded the zone of control over in the eastern parts of Andriivka, Kletsove. I have mapped this in a very conservative manner, expanding from zone from the previous understood full captured area by the Russian forces. The entire area is claimed by the Ukrainian side, so the geolocation does invalidate the Ukrainian claims. The advance here is around 2 kilometers, and the first geolocation was around 1.2 kilometers. So it was something like this as they push west. So there's no guarantee that the Russians actually have full control of the highway in this sector here. So this is a very conservative, very, very conservative mapping. So yeah, this entire region is still a mess in terms of the front line all over the place. So we shall continue to wait for more intel. And one last frontline change is over at Novoivanivka. So this one is a big one. This one is a very interesting mapping from the Ukrainian mapping. They have updated the sector here, and they have mapped that to show that the Russian forces have captured Temerivka and then go into Obratny, as well as this big push into Novoivanivka. One very big frontline change in this sector here, a very surprising one, which means the Russian forces basically consolidated this position. The advance towards Novoivanivka is 4.75 kilometers. This is a very big frontline change. So as you can see, Obratny is very tiny, just a few houses. So Russian forces have basically entered from the east and secured Temerivka. So just repeat again, and the Russian forces go down the road, and as well as go down the gully as the tree lines, and in towards the eastern outskirts of Novoivanivka, and this gully or riverine or tree line all the way to the lake is all under Russian control. So a very consolidated position. So yeah, so that's the frontline change over Novoivanivka. This piece alone is 11.2 square kilometers. So very significant frontline changes in the past 24 hours. And we're going to do some calculation in terms of the total area captured. We're going to leave this as the background. And happy birthday to you, if your birthday today, by the way. And just now we have a fantastic DPA open mic session on the new DPA open mic channel. So you can check it out. I will leave the link later. So the total area captured yesterday by the Russian forces is 8.24 square kilometers. Ukrainians did not capture anything yesterday. So today the Ukrainians captured 2.29 plus 1.72. Oops. 2, which is actually this. Okay, again get it. 2.29 plus 1.72. So 4.01 square kilometers captured by the Ukrainian side. So 4.01. So respectable number. The Russians captured a lot more though. 0.05 plus 13.18 plus 4.1 plus 13.45. Total area captured by the Russian forces is 30.78 square kilometers, which, as you can see, giving some of these 10 square kilometers to the yesterday's 8.24, that will still average 20 square kilometers. So Russian forces are still maintaining the 20 square kilometers advance speed. So yeah, it is what it is. So anyway, check out the DPO open mic. Thank you for watching. Press the like button, subscribe, and yeah, and check out the other report over there. I'll see you guys in the next update.